This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. New York was in full bloom at last night's Met Gala. This year's theme was the Garden of Time, and some stars went all out to truly embrace it. Should we start? Let's do it. Zendaya co-chaired the event, made an early entrance in this one-shoulder black and blue gown draped in grapes. It was my favorite of the night.
I love it.
It's
favorite of the night.
giving like a Medusa spirit, but with a goddess quality.
Absolutely. She was just full of life. And her makeup was
Unbelievable.
styled perfectly.
Unbelievable.
Later, she also changed into this black vintage Givenchy gown with a long train and large floral hat.
Is that leather or is that?
I think half of it is leather.
Yeah.
Was that the train of the night in Europe?
I think so. She and La Roche can do no wrong. That's her stylist. Demi Moore also made a statement in this.
This was my
floral gown. Is this yours, Al? It was made out of recycled wallpaper. Huh?
Oh.
What? Yes.
Sustainable
Slay.
future.
We need more of Demi Moore. Okay.
I love that.
Nicole Kidman looks stunning in this black and white Balenciaga gown, which is looking very Sleeping Beauty, which was part of the look as well.
Are those feathers or is that tulle?
I believe it's tulle. But almost floral looking, right, Erica?
Oh my God.
Now this is one of my favorites, Nicki Minaj. She
Like an
went
empty
full
womb.
floral. I know. She went into this bright yellow mini dress. I thought this was darling.
is very
Cardi
sweet.
B made a late entrance, but she took over the carpet in this jaw-dropping black dress with a black turban. She was covered in diamonds and emeralds.
My husband sent me a photo of this saying, I've learned my lesson from having to carry your dress. I will hire a team if it gets to that part.
Anthony, we give it up to you. Lizzo, not my favorite, looked like an actual flower in this corseted gown and headpiece. I thought it looked like a coffee filter. I didn't love this at all.
Yeah, I'm not feeling
Yeah.
it.
No.
It's ill-fitting.
Ill-fitting,
too.
and the color I don't love for her.
Yeah.
The bear, Io Debris, the bear's Io Debris looked like she had a garden growing from her gown. I thought this was a bit ill-fitting as well. I wish it was a little tighter.
I didn't care for it
Okay.
either. Yeah.
Didn't
I need
love this.
more.
I need more too. Gigi Hadid also looked like a garden in bloom in this white gown. To me, this read tablecloth, but friendly tablecloth.
Do you know what? It's so weird you say that. It reminded me of my grandmother's wallpaper, but that relaxes me and it it takes me to a happy place.
Maybe it's retro, a little
Shout out
vintage.
Marcella.
Marcella,
Yes.
we miss you. And her favorite color is yellow, which was why she had the yellow roses.
I really like it.
I do too. Sydney Sweeney, look, you might not even recognize. That was Sydney Sweeney? I thought that was Billie Eilish. She changed her blonde hair for a more darker, dramatic look.
How are we feeling about the gloves?
Don't like the gloves at all.
Gloves are very in, but this is giving me prom with a little bit of biker energy. I don't love it.
With biker.
I want to go to a biker prom.
Oh, that'd be rad. Jessica Biel could have changed her hair, but she wore this pink gown covered in petals. Earlier, she said she was prepared for the big event by soaking in 20 pounds of Epsom salts for 30 minutes. Do we have her dress? Okay, we will get her dress later on.
We do have the Epsom salts.
What
do.
is the Epsom salt supposed
Does it
to do?
dehydrate her?
It makes you a little thinner, slimmer in order to fit in the dress, I believe.
Oh,
Right.
I thought it actually bloats you.
Oh,
Salt.
Oh,
Well, salt draws water out, right?
I think it
Salt
takes the
draws
water weight out
of you, yeah.
I believe. Okay, let's move on to Eddie Redmayne and his wife. They both wore matching black and white tulle skirts. Do we have them
I'm
together?
here for that.
No.
I
Okay.
think you guys should just stay together if you're dressed on theme like
Yeah,
that.
together they look crazy cool together. Coleman Domingo looked very sharp in this black and white
Yes.
suit, and he was clutching a bouquet of calla lilies. Now, he said he was honoring, watch this, both the late Chadwick Boseman and former Vogue editor Andre Leon Talley,
Yes.
which is stunning. He's become a real hit. He was wearing greenish seafoam green eye contact lenses.
I'm still not over Chadwick.
I know.
I'm not.
Nobody is. Let's talk about Kim Kardashian. Ay, ay, ay. She wore this silver metallic gown that showed off a very tiny waist, incredibly small, and this off-the-shoulder gray sweater. In Yiddish, we say it's shmata. She said it was inspired by her wildest night in the garden, where she had to run out and grab her boyfriend's sweater.
She looked like she couldn't breathe.
It was the waist thing was uncomfortable.
It made me uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do appreciate when people go all out for fashion. Her waist, it's a little off-putting. Right there, her walk looks like when you're really hurt, when you fall in front of kids and you have to walk.
Your tailbone hurts.
You want to keep your dignity, so you're like, no, your dad's fine. I'm going to go get some water, and you really hurt. That's how she walks.
I've passed out from a corset before.
Have you?
Really?
Yes. Yes. It's like medieval.
Yeah, I'm wearing one right
Absolutely.
now, and it's got like hardware, but for that, she must have, don't you think, waist trained? Which is, to me, a very strange way. Whatever.
Please explain what waist training is.
You wear waist trainers until you can go smaller and smaller. They used to do it back in the day, and it was almost like a circus thing. You could see the smallest waist in the county, and it's very unhealthy, incredibly unhealthy. So I hope girls and boys out there don't listen and follow that along. We do also want to look at Dan Levy, who looked, I thought, really fantastic for the men. He kind of had a black fade into a garden situation here.
I kind of like that.
I kind of think, Al, you could have rocked that.
No, I don't think I could have pulled that off. But I really do like it. I think maybe if the pants were a little tighter and maybe got black again at the bottom, I might be able to pull that off. So it looked more like a suit.
It doesn't. I'm not seeing it. It's getting lost in the carpet.
I feel you.
Yeah.
You have to get a little bit lost.
But I think maybe that's the point, is it kind of looks like he's being vaporized a little bit. Do you get that?
Okay.
Like he's becoming one with the floor.
Jody in my ear goes, all right, move on. All right, other stars at the Met went for a really more earthy look on the green carpet, all right? So let's look at event co-chair Jennifer Lopez. She was golden in this bedazzled gown that had more than 2.5 million hand-sewn beads. This didn't look the theme at all for me. I didn't get it.
It was giving Beyonce, was that 2019?
Yeah, I didn't get this at all for the theme, but good for her. Another event co-chair, Chris Hemsworth, which I thought was lazy. This seemed a little lazy.
Wow.
His wife, Elsa, wore matching nude tones. That's like a suit you'd wear any day.
But it's a neutral tone. It's an earth color.
He could have done way better, I think. Anyone else? I think he could have tried.
I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pamela Anderson. She ditched her no makeup rule and wore this glowy look, complete with a necklace of lab-grown pink diamonds containing nearly 200 carats.
You think Anna Wintour called her and was like, listen, you come to my event, you get dressed.
You know she did. Do not come nude face. You know she did. One of my least favorite coming up, Sarah Jessica Parker. She arrived with her BFF, Andy Cohen, in a beaded hoop skirt and long pearls. I just didn't like the proportions.
I take the hat. I think that's really cool and futuristic. I don't know if it's super on theme, but I love it.
Okay.
I love that.
I didn't like the cut of the T-length, but a lot of people, including myself, were talking about South African singer Tyla. Get this, guys. She wore this dress completely made out of sand, and it was sculpted to fit her body. She also held this Sands of Time hourglass, if you can see it, handbag. It was so form-fitting and delicate, she had to be carried up the Met stairs. This was hysterical.
While still giving an interview.
Right.
That is the most gangster thing I've ever seen in my life.
Later, even more gangster, she was cut out of her dress by Balmain, the director of Balmain, so she could finally move on her own. I didn't know this, but Sierra told me her parents told her, she was in engineering school in South Africa, you have 1 year to make it as a singer, and she made it.
Wow.
And that's she at her first Met Gala.
Maybe that's the trick, is your parents just have to set a deadline.
Yeah.
All right?
Yep. And maybe that's the Sands of Time. The deadline. How beautiful.
I like it. You brought it full circle.
Full circle. All right, let us know who you think was the winner and who was the loser. We'll be right back. welcome back to DBL. We've got Dr. Coley joining us for Met Gala look. You look fantastic. I'm just kidding, but you look fantastic. She is joining us on the panel. If you didn't know, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. We're highlighting the importance of talking about mental health and the tools and resources that are available to help. But, and this is a big but, a few new studies suggest this big push to focus on mental health in recent years may not be having the most positive effect that was intended. In fact, we're learning some are even suggesting it's having some unintended consequences. I'm so excited we're talking about this. Dr. Coley, how could talking about mental health and raising awareness truly be a bad thing?
Well, if you think about your attention as a spotlight, if you're having a negative emotion and you keep turning your spotlight onto that negative emotion, what do? You amplify it.
Yeah.
So the more you talk about how crummy you're feeling and how hard your day was, the more those neurons in your brain, neurons that fire together, wire together. So they get cemented. Then you actually start manifesting those feelings of depression. So that's one piece of it. The other is every day we wake up, we feel a little happier, a little sadder, a little more energetic. Our body and our emotions have a natural cycle. And if we take that cycle and overinterpret it and say, oh my gosh, today I'm a little more tired and feeling a little more down, that means I must be depressed. That's actually inflating or overinterpreting our emotions and making them something that they're not.
It's important.
I experienced this in 2021.
Really?
Because there was so much, there was a lot of mental health issues. There was a lot of pain that was happening over the past year.
Yeah.
And when things started to slow down in terms of like the death, like personally, like in my family and stuff, it became like I was constantly absorbing other people's energy, and it really took a toll on me because I normally can kind of move past it, but I couldn't move past it. So that was something that I actually ended up back in therapy for. Yeah. So moving on, excuse me. Isn't it important to raise awareness about mental health issues so that people don't feel like they're alone and where to find resources? I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword.
It is, and it's all about balance. So we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater and say we shouldn't be talking about mental health. But the idea is this one-size-fits-all approach where everybody talks about it, everybody feels better by talking about it, may not be necessarily the best, especially for younger kids and our adolescents, because they're immature about how they interpret their emotions. So having them think about their emotions more can actually amplify it. In fact, what they're doing now with third graders is having them watch cartoons and having them respond to the cartoons and tell them whether or not, hey, is this just a normal transient stress that this character had, or do you think they're actually sad or upset? So who knows how early we need to start, but we certainly need to talk about it. We just need to be careful about tailoring how we talk about it.
Jeff, you often say this is like if you go looking for something, you'll find it.
Absolutely,
don't you say this?
absolutely. Where the mind goes, energy flows type of thing. It's like a positive thinking tool, right? But
That's
now
exactly right.
I'm glad we're talking about it medically, because some people could force themselves into, I have depression, I have this, when they're just regular obstacles that you would have faced if you didn't have that mindset anyway.
That's exactly right. That's what we need to learn, to teach our kids how to be resilient, deal with those obstacles, but also help them to recognize mental health if it really is a problem.
Yeah,
that's right.
They said one of the missing ingredients a lot of people have nowadays is just plain grit, which is important. Grit. All right, thank you for joining us so much today, Dr. Coley. DBL Nation, follow Dr. Coley on social media at PyleColeyMD. Also, be sure to subscribe to her YouTube page. Plus, check out her podcast, Heart of Medicine, wherever you listen to your podcasts. We'll be right back.
Thanks, Doc.
Thanks, Doc.
putting these things on the grill.
Whatever accidents happen, it's fine with me.
I don't want to f them up.
Do you know what happens if I have a wine glass in my hand?
The special pie.
Looks like fun. Welcome back. That was a clip from the show In the Kitchen with Harry Hamlin. Earlier, he talked to us about putting his famous dinner guests to work. Check it out.
Harry Hamlin, welcome back to DBL.
It's great to be back.
Oh, Harry, in the trailer, we see Ted Danson and Mary Steenburgen doing dishes. He was like Sam Maloning it over there. What was going on there? Did you really put him to work?
I have never
Well, of course I put him to work. I put everybody to work who comes over to have dinner at my house, you know. And they're really good dishwashers too. I mean, I could pass the machine one. I just have Ted and Mary do it. And they were walking into the kitchen when they first came in, and they were just making small talk, like, you know, we love dinner parties. We even like to wash the dishes. And I picked up on that last phrase and said, okay,
Smart.
You're on.
Smart.
A little Curb Your Enthusiasm reunion of sorts.
Sure.
Of sorts. Yeah. You were great on there, by the way, if I haven't mentioned that in the past. So funny. Dog.
Thank you. Dog, yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny. All right. So your niece is a classically trained chef and helps out in the kitchen. What has been your favorite dish that you have learned from her so far?
Well, she taught me how to make this amazing sort of spicy pork sausage penne pasta, which is really, it only takes about 20 minutes to make. And I made some for Lisa last week, and she said, I didn't really want any. I'll just try it. And she ended up eating 2 huge bowls of it. So, yeah.
So that's the go-to.
Yeah.
That's it. Look, I like to cook too. I have a very, very small C in front of my cook. Jeff is the cook on the panel. Now, Harry, I have to ask you, is there a kitchen gadget that you cannot live without? Because honestly, for me, I try to think of a cool answer, but I use my handheld lemon squeezer for almost every meal. And I wish I had a cooler answer, but I use that all the time in the kitchen.
Interesting.
So that would be Lisa's go-to, because she uses that all the time. She has lemon in everything.
Yes.
For me, it's a garlic press, and it's got to be a really good garlic. You know, really hefty garlic press with the kind you can go like this and then clean it out on the other side. So, and you got to search around for a good one like that.
Speaking of your wife, Lisa Rinna, in an interview she talked about your mushroom foraging obsession. Ooh. Are there other ingredients you absolutely love that go into nearly every dish you make?
This is for COVID. I love that outfit. That's good. Up in Canada, we have a cabin that we go to in the summer, and it just so happens that right outside my kitchen, there's a huge field of chanterelle mushroom. Amazing in the summer, and I am kind of obsessed, I must say. When I look at those bright yellow mushrooms, and I go, I got to have those. So, and they cook up really beautifully too.
Ooh, all right. So let's keep talking about your wife, shall we? Because you two recently celebrated your 27th wedding anniversary. Congrats.
Yes.
What does this milestone mean to the both of you?
Well, you know, it's 27 married, but I was very hesitant to get married again because, like, three's a charm for me, I guess. But our engagement was 5 years long, so we've been together for like 32 years. Does it mean a lot? The 32 years means a lot to me. We were not even together this year for our anniversary, first time ever. But I think it's a lock after 27 years married and 32 together.
Oh, it's a lock. Yep. Yeah, it's a lock.
Wow.
Do you ever serenade her with that guitar in the background? I see it. Do you?
I do. In fact,
you do.
She's the only person who's ever heard me sing the song. Well, except for our dog. We have a Rottweiler who I play for too from time to time. But the dog has much better taste than Lisa and usually leaves the room.
Harry, it's always great having you on DBL. To our viewers, In the Kitchen with Harry Hamlin premieres Wednesday, May 15th on AMC Plus and IFC. Thank you for stopping by, Harry. We'll be right back.
Thanks.
Welcome back. We've got some great products from our friends at Morning Save. Check them out. Steph, what do you have for us today? Let's go shopping.
Hey Tori, hey DBL Nation. We are super excited to show you the deals we've got today. As ever, they're wonderful, so let's check them out. First up, we've got the Diamond Muse quarter carat TW round diamond bracelet.
I'm already in.
The deal includes one diamond bracelet and it's just beautiful. Morning Save works directly with the vendor to get you the best price on jewelry. So normally this is $199.
Still like a good deal.
But we've got it for $39.99, which is saving 80%.
Why do you think we look so dazzling, Steph? Because we can afford it due to Morning Save.
And look at the shine on this thing. Isn't it just gorgeous? This is going to literally turn some heads. Next up, we've got the Aqua Joe hose-powered spray gun.
Whoa.
So this deal includes one spray gun, which is perfect whether you're watering your garden, for rinsing your patio. You can even clean your car with this or wash your dog. So normally it's $29. However, we've got it for $14.99. So that's saving 48%. And then next up today, we've got the 3-pack Key Smart Pro with tile. So this deal includes 3 Key Smart Pros with tiles. So this product will allow you to track your missing keys from your phone.
What?
So normally these are $50 each.
Right.
We have got a 3-pack for $39.99. So that's saving 73%.
I don't know someone that loses their keys a lot.
And then last up today, we have got the Sharper Image 2-in-1 steam mop.
Nice.
The deal includes one steam mop, so it means you can get your floors sanitized, looking their best without having to use chemicals.
Right.
So normally this is $230.
Ooh.
We've got it for $49.99, so that's saving 78%.
Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or just scan that QR code that you see on screen. It will take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Thank you so much, Steph. We love sharing your comments. This is about mental health. Megan writes in, if you learn the right tools, you can overcome almost anything. It's the mindset you put yourself in. And you said when you get up in the morning and you're feeling sad.
Right, like get to know yourself a little bit and have like an honest conversation. And like certain mornings, we get to talk politics or something. I'll review what we're going to talk about. But if it's not that, I'll throw some music on that I like, some music that reminds me of having a good summer a couple years ago with friends, and just it helps.
Totally.
You know, it really does. Jeff, you talk about this all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you could always focus back in on yourself, right? You could only do so much. You could deliver your output, but you can't predict the outcome.
Right.
Yeah, that's how you got to put it.
I like
Adapt, guys. Have some grit and have a great day. DBL's new every day. We'll see you same place tomorrow. Good to see you guys.
Well said.